Without a doubt.
Heidi ho, and what the fuck do you know? Welcome back, guys, to another podcast this week. All Funk No Bunk. Excited to have you guys back here with us. We got to lead right in talking about the sponsors, of course. Super thankful to them. And today we'll be smoking some Motivator from Cannovative. Fucking killer sponsor. We got a few of these that we'll be smoking throughout the next couple of weeks. And they're always so consistent, so delicious. Like, I just love Cannovative in general.
The Motivators are fire.
The Motivators are fire.
Everyone around here, at least, knows that. You know what I mean? I don't know everyone in the whole world, but everyone in this area knows that Motivators are the infused pre-roll to buy.
They're the most consistent. They're always potent. They always do the trick.
First off, they're one of the only infused pre-rolls. Very short list of infused pre-rolls that actually burn good. Very short list of infused pre-rolls that burn good, and they are on that fucking list.
Absolutely.
I'm talking very short. And then past that, because that to me is what's like most important about a pre-roll, is if I can't smoke it, what the fuck's the point?
So tasty.
I don't care how good your weed is. If your pre-roll doesn't burn, then I'm not going to get high off of it. So that's like number one. But two, I mean, is they get up to like 70% sometimes and shit. It's fucking insane. Like, these are the infused fucking pre-roll to go for.
I believe this one's up at like 60.
It's like 58 or something, yeah. But I always tell people, like,
sour diesel.
You weren't even supposed to pass that to me.
Damn it.
But yeah, so Cannovative Motivators, the fucking jam. To be fair, most of their shit's all their shit's the jam. Like fucking
super
the
transparent
flour,
company.
The fucking concentrate.
Oh, the Crunch Berry is my favorite flour right now too from them.
If you can get any type of good, in my opinion, I've never had a sativa from them that I don't like, and that's rare.
I was gonna say for
I
you,
don't like sativas.
Yeah, it's not really your jam.
So
yeah, that's saying something.
I don't know. Sure. They're just like they're energizing, but they don't give me as much anxiety. I feel like there must be a good amount of cardio in there or something. And
then we got the Happiest Hour, of course, with their terp shots. Man, these are so good. I'm gonna be drinking down some of this Wake. I got some stuff to do today. It's got a great terpene blend and some caffeine in there. Really kind of guides your high.
I gotta sip on mine because they're that woke. These motherfuckers, they're not just Wake, they woke times 3.
Yeah, they get you going.
So I gotta sit.
Tastes so good.
Because your boy's caffeine can't hit 100 milligrams in fucking
Mine can.
7 seconds, or we gonna have issues.
I like issues.
But if I just take little baby sips all day, 10 milligrams here, 10 milligrams there.
Keep you going.
I'd be feeling great.
Yeah, keep you going for sure. But today on this podcast, we are going to be talking about some conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah. So we each kind of picked one.
Yeah.
That we wanted to talk about a little bit.
Yeah. And I just as a kind of lead up, because people always have somewhat different views on this. Would you say that you, in general, believe in things like I think we both agree on aliens.
Oh.
Right, okay. About Bigfoot. You think Bigfoot's real?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
You don't?
Honestly, no.
You don't think there's any chance?
Bro, we got enough drones, we got enough airplanes, we got satellites that can take pictures of shit from the stratosphere. They can see the year on a penny on the sidewalk in New York, you know what I'm saying? If there was a goddamn Bigfoot, I think we would have seen him. Sure, in the Amazon, there's probably a bunch of species of shit that we haven't seen yet.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But, the Amazon's a huge place, and it's probably the most diverse, own ecosystem on the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as, other forest and mountain ranges and stuff.
I get what you're saying.
That is hands down, and he's not supposedly from that area.
I was going to say.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I just feel how many unknown species you think are still chilling in the Rockies?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Or in the Sierra Nevadas?
See, okay, here's what you'll find with me on these type of topics, and it drives
you know
some people crazy.
Sorry.
No, you're cool. Oh, I didn't even realize. Yeah, my outlook on a lot of stuff like that is like I just kind of want it to be true, so I just believe in it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I try to like,
because then you try to break down.
I try to like logic the fuck out of it.
See, I try to
like I don't think anything's impossible. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like if Bigfoot came out, I wouldn't be like,
yeah,
no fucking way.
See,
like,
I hold out on that.
You know what I mean?
0.0001%.
But like, I just think the probability of it is so goddamn small. Bro.
I agree
like,
with that.
There's no way.
I can agree with that, at least that the probability is super low. But like, then I start to say things like, "Well, maybe he's just super elusive and he's just smart enough to fucking stay hidden."
I don't think so, bro.
I mean, you're probably right.
I really
on the
don't
Bigfoot
think
thing,
so.
I'm starting to have to concede more and more. Like you said, we got a lot.
I just
of
feel like
shit
by now. Like, in the 50s? Fuck yeah. There was, like, no technology. And you take a picture on a camera. I don't even think they had digital cameras. It was still film. You weren't going to fucking, you know what I'm saying? You weren't going to take a picture of Bigfoot and prove it to nobody back then. Fuck yeah. I would have believed in it full. I would have been like, Bigfoot! There was a way higher probability back then. Nowadays, fuck no. We done seen it all. We done been everywhere.
Oh, fuck.
We got drones. We got...
Man, am I.
You know what I'm saying? We got it all. Like, there's no way... We would have seen it by now.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, on the Bigfoot thing, I'm starting to have to concede more and more for that very reason. But I'm always like, but maybe just like... Maybe. Anyway.
I mean, I hope, but
that's
I
just me
doubt
on that
it,
type of stuff. Like, it's. I know it's not probable.
I got a good question for you. What do you think about the Bermuda Triangle?
Okay,
Because
actually,
that's a whole ass conspiracy.
I was gonna say
that's its own whole ass conspiracy.
I was gonna say that's the one I actually want to talk about. At
no
some
way.
Point. Like, I want to actually do some research and come back and like both kind of discuss that at some point. Like, we'll do another conspiracies episode, and we'll kind of talk about that. But I think. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have, like, all the facts. But I think there's something to it. But again, I always want to hold out. I always want it to be true. Because it's interesting.
I don't know. See, the thing is like, in my opinion, it's one of those things where, like, it's kind of proven almost to have been true. The problem is we don't know why.
I was going to say, from what I've seen...
It's kind of been... I don't want to say it's, like, proven... You know what I mean? But, like,
right.
Something is... We know something's fucked.
Something weird happened
something
at some
is
point, at least.
in there is fucking weird.
Right.
Just no one knows why.
And that's kind of my thing with it. I don't... Like I said, I want to do more research. But I feel like enough things have happened in that region that maybe it's not necessarily the triangle itself, but, like, at specific times or, like, you know...
Do you want some more of this, or...
I'm
not
fucking
back?
lit
Gotcha.
right now. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm pretty high too, honestly.
Woo! Your boy be Liddy McTitty. So yeah, I don't know, dude. That's one I think that will be fun to just kind of actually look at.
I honestly don't know too much about that one.
Okay.
Like I said, I know a little bit about a lot of them.
Fair enough.
I'm not good with, like, dates and details. I can't be like, there's no way I'm going to be like, in 1952, a B-2 bomber
Yeah, no, I get you.
recently retired from the Air Force, was taking a cruise through the Bermuda Triangle and disappeared forever. Like, I don't have, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're
John Smith was the pilot, never to be found. He woke up in his bed 12 days later with no memory of what happened. I don't fucking know.
I got you. Sure, I mean, you did pretty good there. I don't know, man. I think you might do better at it than you think.
Yeah, but I just made that up.
I mean, that's fair.
That's not memory. That's just imagination.
Oh my god. So what's your conspiracy theory, Nick?
It's mostly behind, like, the reasoning of why the Federal Reserve exists.
Oh, okay.
The Federal Reserve, like, the money that, you know what I mean, where all of the money that America uses as legal tender, every bill, every cent, it all comes from the Federal Reserve. And that most people don't really know anything about it. They don't teach really anything about it, like in schools or anything like that, because
I don't think I really know anything
they don't
about
want
it.
you to know, because
okay.
it's not like the rules that they follow can't be Googled online or whatever. Like, it's not like it's a secret, but it's like the way it's operated is fucked.
Okay.
And it's essentially like a system that can never be won. So the Federal Reserve is not, or at least wasn't. I haven't, maybe I should have checked. Maybe in the past couple years or something, things have changed that I don't understand, you know what I mean, that I didn't know. But as far as I know, at least, because it's been a little while since I, you know what I mean, did like some deep research on this. But as far as I know, they're not owned by the federal government in any way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a private company.
Really?
It's a private company owned, I let this go out, by the, like, Rothschild family or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. No way.
Yeah, so that's where they get most of their money from. Obviously, they got lots of things going on. It's not like that's the only thing they do. Yeah, clearly not the only thing they do. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's where a lot of, like, their power and stuff in the world comes from.
Okay.
As like a family, because they own the Federal Reserve, or did. Like I said,
for sure. You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone's gonna be like, they sold that 3 years ago, and I'm gonna be like, I'm so sorry, but essentially they own it, they run it, they make the rules. The way it works is like any other bank. The government borrows money from it, and they're expected to pay back interest. The problem is the Federal Reserve makes the money. So if the Federal Reserve makes $1 million, right, and they give it to the United States, and they say, you owe us $1,002,000, where does the $2,000 come from? So it's essentially a system where, unless America is doing so well that they are industrially murdering the game across the board, you know what I'm saying? To the point where we're, like, selling goods and services to other countries, like doing lots and lots of imports and stuff, and making a ton of money, you know what I mean, just as a country, like, profiting as a country. There's no way to pay that back.
So essentially, with the debt that we currently have, because I know we're like, I don't know the exact number. I know it's always going up.
It's a lot. It's a
fuck
ton.
Big ass number. So the point is with that theory, we already don't have money, so we can only keep getting money from the Federal Reserve, which in cycle keeps us in more debt.
Yeah.
Without being able to climb out of it. So if we didn't have our debt, right, and we were in the positive, then it's feasible that we would be
it's essentially set up as, like, capitalism, you know what I'm saying? They're expecting that America's going to do so well that they're going to dominate the rest of the world, and China, Russia, Europeans, every other country is going to be paying us for our shit. Okay. It doesn't matter that we have to pay interest because we're banking. Don't matter. Okay. In fact, we don't need your money. We're making money. You know what I'm saying? Keep your fucking money. You don't have to make us anymore. We got our own. You know what I'm saying? So that the only way we could ever be prosperous is if the country as a whole is just fucking killing it. Other than that, it's a system totally based off of we'll never win.
Built off debt. Just debt.
And even still, like, even if we were doing that good, someone's still getting fucked. That money still doesn't exist somewhere. We just had to take it from someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The money still never was there. You know what I'm saying? We just had to jack it from fucking Europeans because we sold them a bunch of cars or something, right? Because we're so industrial or whatever we're doing, that we're so great. We made enough money where we can pay back that interest. But that money still had to come from somewhere.
Interesting.
It's a system that's built, like, in a way where you can really never really pay it off. Huh. We owe more money than what was made. Than what was physically printed.
Right, than was ever actually made.
Put into circulation.
Right.
They put $1 million into circulation and they ask for 1.5 back. It's not that high, you know what I mean? But
right. They get 1.5 back, and the people asking for that money are the people that are making the money.
Yes.
Okay. Fuck that. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then, so the only other real big way that they can make a lot of money, like these powerful families and stuff like that, is through war, essentially. And the only reason that works is really fucked as well. So, like, it's not because, like, they're selling weapons to the bad guys or something, right? You know what I mean? That's not how they're making the money. What it means is that America now needs a lot of extra money to fund a war. So we have to borrow more money from the Federal Reserve, which creates more debt, which we'll never get out of. We have to pay that back at some point. So that's where federal income tax goes, is paying interest off of our debt. Or that's where it at least used to go. I'm sure it goes a lot of places. The reason it became a thing, I should say, was to pay off the interest on our debt that we owe.
Interesting.
That's the reason why it was instated or whatever. I'm sure it goes a lot of places now. It's not just going
for sure.
Yeah.
They gotta be smarter about
spread it
now,
everywhere.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
You know, I mean, everyone's getting a piece of that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
In some way, shape, or form.
Too many people are watching the money now for them to just be going.
It was a reason. That was the reasoning behind the main reasoning behind federal income tax.
Interesting.
Then I remember I was telling you that there was like numbers that hurt my feelings, right?
Yeah.
So off of, I think it was World War One, one of the Rothschilds, or whatever, I can't remember their first name.
Sure.
J.B. Rothschild or some shit. You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah.
Profited, and this is fucked either way, but I can't remember if it was 2 million or 200 million. Either way,
the time especially 2 million.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So either way, they profited that much money off of World War One, and there was like 300,000 American soldiers that died or something, and Homeboy made $2 million or $200 million profit off of the war.
That's crazy.
Who profits off of that?
I know.
Ouch.
So are they just taking the money directly then? Like, are they start the war and then all this extra money that they ask for, they actually just pocket?
No, so like America has to go to the reserve and be like, "Hey man, we need an extra 200 million.
Mm-hmm.
We can't.
Right.
We can't. We need to fuel. We need to fund this war. We need more guns and ammo. We gotta buy things. We gotta make stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and so then their businesses essentially pick up. Is that? Like, how do the Rothschilds end up in the profit? Do you know?
Because we have to pay. Because America has to pay back interest, and
Okay.
we as Americans pay federal income tax that has to
that
pay off the fucking interest. Yeah, they own the money. They own the bank. They made the money.
Yep.
They gave it to America and said, "Here's your 200 million. By the way, we want 220 million back."
Okay.
I'm sure there's a lot of little like intricate pieces to that puzzle that I'm missing.
Sure.
I'm sure there's so many ways the money gets spent and so many.
Yeah, and how they do all that.
I'm not an economist, you know what I mean? I don't know every little, you know what I'm saying, but generally speaking, that's the way that the Federal Reserve
in terms of what the theory is, you know, behind all of it.
It's all meant just for enslavement, essentially.
Holy shit.
So that the powerful people can stay powerful. So that the Rothschild can own, you know what I mean, half the world's wealth or whatever and get away with it. That's what it's meant for.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's fucking insane, isn't it? That's what I mean. That's the fucking... It's the world we live in, bro.
Whew. Yikes.
Yeah. So I'm sure if you're like, you know, a lawyer or tax lawyer of some sort or something, you know what I'm saying? That you have a lot of answers to all the things I just said.
Sure.
Or why things are instated and this. And, well, there has to be this because of this and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just speaking, generally speaking, that's the conspiracy is that all of this was instated specifically just to enslave the American people, pretty much.
No, I absolutely see where that. Okay. Huh. I'm gonna be looking that up a little bit.
And that doesn't mean that I personally believe all of it. I'm just telling
you
that's the conspiracy behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
though?
super crazy. Yeah, I want to know more. You know what I mean?
I don't have Rothschild's bank account statements from fucking, you know what I'm saying? World War One. I don't know how much fucking money he made, you know what I mean?
Right.
Those are the numbers that are being spoken of, you know what I mean, in this theory. And
yeah, and that's what you see when you look up about it and
Isn't
stuff.
that crazy?
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine if that's real, oh my god.
Imagine having so much money that you could pay off government officials to enter a war that the country's citizens don't even want any part of, right? And then once entered the war, profiting millions of dollars off of hundreds of thousands of deaths.
Yeah. You have to literally, like,
You have to be so detached from reality.
That's what I was gonna say. You have to have such a low humanity, or none at all, I guess, is really what that equivalent.
That to me is just total detachment from reality.
Yeah.
You live such a different life that you don't even understand what it's like to be a normal human.
That's a God complex.
That's what I'm saying. You're not a normal...
Yeah.
You don't have a normal view on life and people, and you've been... You know what I mean? And I mean, to think about it, I mean, I'm not saying that they're right. Trust me. Don't agree with it. Disclaimer. You know what I mean? Not a fan of the system. But imagine you spend, from the time you're a baby, being taken care of by 30 nannies at a time, having 100 housemaids, mansions, whatever the fuck you wanted, whenever you wanted it.
At the moment.
No one to ever tell you no, ever. Right? As from being a child. I mean, that fucks with the development of your brain. You know what I mean? Like... And then all the way to where you're an adult, to where you're still... imagine being 50 years old and never even having to, like, wipe your own ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, imagine, honestly, being a 50-year-old who has never had to lift a motherfucking finger their entire life. Ever, not once.
Yeah.
For anything, unless they felt like it. You know what? I feel like picking up my own tennis ball today. I got it.
Yeah.
Walk across the court and pick it up.
That's like a big deal.
Instead of having Jeeves... Get me that another tennis ball! And smacking them, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, never having to do anything ever. Never having to cook a meal for yourself. Never having to do anything for yourself ever. I mean, that's gotta fuck with you, right? I mean, like I said, not saying I agree with them, but just, Jesus Christ. That's what I'm saying. They have to be so detached from normal reality.
Even talking about it just sounds like there are people that live like something like that, but you know what I mean? It still doesn't even seem right, because it is so different from... the realities that
99.9% of the population live. They don't have the same struggles. They don't have the same...
Yeah.
They literally don't live the same reality as the rest of the world.
Yeah.
They are the 1% of people that don't have to live like we do. They don't get it.
Fucking A. Fucking A. Alright. I've got a conspiracy theory about a potential mind control facility in Alaska. So
that sounds lit.
It was built... It's like this $300 million facility that was built there. And essentially what it is it's a bunch of these antennas. And it's like 33 acres. And they're all these huge, giant antennas with huge energy outputs.
30 acres of antennas. I'm trying to picture that. That's a decent size.
Yeah, that's really big, but I don't know how to, like, what to compare it to, I guess, to really give it context.
30 acres is like... Jesus Christ. That's a lot.
It's huge.
A football field's got to be like a quarter of an acre or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, imagine.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a lot.
Just a quarter
of land,
of an acre. Yeah. So it's a shitload of land. And, so essentially, it's right up near the government and what, you know, scientists that work there. What?
I'm really trying to picture it. Football field's got to be like half acre.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah,
I grew up in the plot of land we lived on was like 0.8 of an acre or something.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to picture
what you could have fit.
It's got to be like half a fucking. You know
Okay.
But still, that's fucking.
That's a lot. It's a lot of antennas.
It's 60 football fields worth or more.
Yeah, exactly. So crazy place, and it's right up near, I get the ionosphere, and like what scientists say is they were studying radio waves and how they work, and because when you send a radio wave, it sends in a straight line, and since the Earth is round, they were using this special place high up in the atmosphere to study radio waves, essentially, to try and better figure out how to communicate between radio stations and things like that. But they've been accused of things like tsunamis and the cause of earthquakes. Yes. And it's said that they're supposed to be...
I love that.
Like, the radio waves emitted from it are so close to brain waves that it's led many people to talk about how this might be a potential thing. And some of the evidence for this...
Wouldn't everybody near it then, though, just be like...
There's no one near it. That's
fucked.
the thing.
You'd be like, someone's got to go service it, right? Like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would assume they have to have, like, some kind of control over it,
staff,
right? Like, you can't
there's
just
be a
be
staff
like...
of sorts, even if it's just 4 people. Like, there's got to be somebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who is this owned by, is what I want to know.
So this was owned by the American government. It was ran by
a government thing?
This is a government facility.
Oh, boy.
And part of the thing is they started getting all these crazy theories about, like, controlling the weather and being a brain, manipulation facility. But they wouldn't talk about it. They would never answer every time it got brought up. People just weren't talking about it for a really long time. Eventually they came out and started saying, like, no, this isn't real, but it was after, like, decades of,
well, they need to make sure they finish their research. Now it is just a radio tower. It used to be mind control, son. It's fucking crazy, bro. Okay.
So, of course, so it's called HAARP, HAARP, and that's really...
I think I've heard of that, actually.
That's the name of the facility, and pretty much the name of the theory, too. If you just type in HAARP conspiracy, it'll pull up. But, watchers have their own ideas about the purpose of the $230 million taxpayer-funded antenna array.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. For many years, HAARP's most prominent critic was Bernard Eastlund, a plasma physicist who reportedly worked for the Strategic Defense Initiative. And then in quotes it says Star Wars, so I believe that was back when that was, like, under effect. And later Advanced Power Technologies Incorporated. The company originally tasked with building HAARP. Eastland, who some believe was dismissed from the company for his extreme ideas, claimed that HAARP was built with his patents for technologies that could be used to modify weather and disable satellites. Since Eastland's death last December...
Disable satellites.
Yeah. Because, I mean, this is putting out, like, $230 million to run a place. Like, that's a huge energy output like that you're doing there. Because I don't think a lot of people ran this place, to be honest. Since Eastland's death last December, Nick Begich, son of a former Alaskan congressman and co-author of the 1995 book Angels Don't Play This HAARP, advances in Tesla technology, has led the anti-HAARP crusade.
Advancements in Tesla technology?
Yeah, I thought that was super weird that they had said Tesla. This is in a popular science article, too, that I'm, like, pulling some, like, excerpts from. And even he says, like, that it just needs to be watched, but it says the government hasn't been upfront about the nature of the programs. They're manipulating portions of the environment, and he's also the one who says it's very similar to brainwaves. And then another book was written by Jerry E. Smith about this stuff.
Jerry Smith.
Yeah, and then eventually they just shut it down randomly. Like, it was really sudden, and they just kind of shut it down for like 6-7 years or something like that. It was back in like 2012 or something. And then they recently started it back up, so people have, like, been talking about it again.
Oh my god.
I don't know, man.
Who knows?
It's interesting.
It could be anything.
Because, like, a lot of the stuff
all kinds of shit
that I see on the... Because I guess they, like, opened it up at one point for people to come in and take a look around. And, like, they did, like, this big media thing. That was in, like, 2017. But, like, I think there were still parts that they, like, left out and wouldn't let people see. And I think that still kept speculation about the conspiracy theories and things like that. But when you look at pictures, dude, it looks kind of crazy. Like...
But it does.
33 acres of antennas,
disable
man.
a satellite? Goddamn.
That's what I'm saying. That's fucking crazy.
Are they just shooting it with radio waves so that, like, no other info can get relayed to it, or what? Like, what? Like a...
Yeah, apparently they were, like, measuring auras. Like I don't even know what that is.
Or some shit.
Something about auras, and then they were, like, making artificial auras, which I don't even know what that means, but... Cause that's...
Like the Aurora Borealis?
I don't... I have no idea, dude. I have no fucking idea what that stands for or means at all. It's something to do with radio waves.
Bruh.
Just saying.
That's dope.
Alright, guys, hope you had a good time today. We're going to do maybe another conspiracy theories one soon.
I'm fucking lit from that.
Yeah, bro, I'm so fucking high right now. Like, whoo, doggy.
Those shits are bomb.
Stuff's good. We didn't even smoke a whole one.
No.
Like, oh my god. Like and subscribe below. We'll be here pretty much every week as best as we can. And I hope you guys have a great day.
Deuces.
Deuces.
Without a doubt.